Merry meet everyone. This is Anastasia Autumnfire with day 6 of my 30 days of Samhain crafting. For those of you that follow me on Facebook, obviously what is before you is not the protection spike like I was hoping. I got home and I cannot find any of my iron spikes. So I took that as perhaps a clue that I wasn't supposed to do that tonight, despite my planning. And I've kind of had this feeling for a while now. I've been doing a lot of kind of deeper crafts, what I call watery crafts per se. Water as an element to me is very deep. It is very, it's vast. It's very mysterious, very spiritual. I mean, there's just no ending to it. And so when I do a craft that's very meaningful, very deep, very heavy, almost, I refer to it as a watery craft. And I've been doing quite a bit of those lately, and so I kind of had this feeling in the back of my head, gosh, I'm doing a lot of heavy stuff. Maybe I should make something more whimsical. Maybe I should work on something for the good folk. Maybe I should do this. Maybe I should do that. And then I got home and had my idea to do a protection spike. I was super excited about it, and I could not find my spikes. So I took that as a way that the universe was telling me, yeah, you need to lighten it up, Seymour. So I decided to instead make a Halloween Fairy Witchy Orb for my daughter. So this is the finished product. Inside we have an herbal blend. The herbal blend that we have in there is hawthorn, nutmeg, rue, orange peel, valerian root, clover flower, lilac, nettle, and a bit of pumpkin spice. Now, hawthorn, I put 3 items in here that are sacred to the good folk. So we have hawthorn for protection. Then we have clover, which is also good for love and success, but it also is connected to the good folk. And then lilac, which is connected to the good folk. It's about love, beauty, wisdom, and also protection. Then for the nutmeg, I put that in there because a lot of this was just based off of putting things together and just kind of being led by spirit, being led by this whimsical energy that has been trying to get through to me for so long. And so a lot of it was spirit-based, but as I was putting it together, I kind of went into a kitchen witch mode, because it was, okay, smell, all right, I want a bit of nutmeg in there now. Okay, now I need some orange peel. I really wanted this to be a kind of like a spicy orange smell. Like for those of you who have perhaps had orange blossom tea or spice orange tea, that kind of scent. When I think of a Halloween fairy, that's the smell that immediately comes to me, and then I can kind of visualize the rest of her. So that was kind of what I was going for. So I started with nutmeg. Nutmeg also is good for luck, psychic awareness, and health. Then I added some rue for protection and positivity. I just love rue. It has kind of the sweet scent to it, so I liked it for the mix. But B, I love the protection and the positivity that it brings. It's one of those herbs where when there's negative energies around, it kind of takes that and transforms it into positive energy, which is always awesome. Then orange peel for love, divination, and luck. That was also kind of quintessential for having that spicy orange scent that I was looking for. Valerian root I put in here for a lot, mostly grounding. I wanted it to still be autumn. I wanted it to be fall. I wanted it to have that grounding element to it, where things all return to the earth. So valerian root definitely helps with that. It also is good for protection, calming, sleep, purification, and harmony. I really liked the harmony aspect of that as well. Then I also put in some nettle for protection, healing, and also just a little bit of lust, because anytime you work with good folk energy, there's got to be a little bit of mischievousness. There's got to be a little bit of seduction, a little bit of lust in there. And then the pumpkin spice that I added was purely for the scent of the season. When I wish I would have made a bigger batch. I think I might make a bigger batch just for an incense blend, because I really loved the scent of it. With that pumpkin spice added, it turned out beautifully. It was so perfect for what I wanted, and it really, as crazy as I drove myself looking for my iron spikes, because trust me, yeah, that was a thing. I'm actually very pleased with how this came out and with the course that it took. So at Michael's the other day, I bought a couple of little pumpkins. One of them is buried in here, and I'm not sure where it is now. But you can see one of them on top inside. I did want to put that in there just kind of as a fun little festive thing. If nothing else, to differentiate the fact that it is Halloween Fairy and not just Autumn Fairy or Autumn Pixie. I really wish I would have called it Halloween Pixie as opposed to Fairy, but, you know, hindsight being 2020. And then I added 3 different colors of glitter. I've got some green in there, orange, and black. I also have my 3 crystal chips for the season. I have amethyst, clear quartz, and carnelian. And also in there, I do have a big chunk of hematite. Again, as fun and whimsical as it is, I do want to keep it grounded. And so I added that in there as well. Then on the back here, I found a children's poem actually online, because I wasn't sure really of a spell or anything. It was just kind of a fun thing I wanted to put in my daughter's room. Although I really like how it turned out, I might keep it. But I found a child's poem I thought was really cool, so I wrote that on the back where I would normally write the spell. It says, "Her wings are made of spider webs. Her hair is raven black. She wears a dress of fallen leaves and carries a little sack. Her shoes are made of pumpkin seeds. Her eyes are violet blue, with a glint of mischief always there, and a bit of naughty too. Sometimes she rides on a black cat's back, or in a pumpkin coach, driven by a flock of bats to more easily encroach. You see this mischief-making sprite. She likes to trick or treat. She sneaks and snickers to herself as she plans her Halloween feat." And there was a bit more to the poem, but I ran out of room, and I really thought that was a good place to end it. As it kind of, that was the end of describing the fairy, which is supposed to embody this. So that, although it's not a spell, it kind of tells you the attributes I want in there. Although I put in for good luck, I put in for psychic awareness, because I always want, even in Lily, I would like to promote that. Health, love, divination is in there, but I think it's more of a fun feeling, a calming, a sleep, harmony, success, wisdom, love, beauty, all of this stuff I wish for my daughter. But because this is with good folk energy, it has that mischievousness, it has that element of fun and whimsy, and that is when you think of Halloween, that is what I want my daughter to think of. I want her to have fun. I want her to think of the fun and the just the spirit of it. I think so many kids lately, or nowadays, I sound like an old woman, but it's true, they kind of miss out on the purpose behind the holiday. And as much as I know some witches are very adverse to Halloween because it takes traditions of ours and kind of meshes it into something else, I think it's a great thing to do. It's a great way to celebrate as a family. There's a lot of rites and rituals that I would not have my daughter privy to, especially on Samhain. But her partaking in Halloween is something we both can connect with and still have a bit of that sacredness of Samhain, if that makes sense. And that was the point of this craft, really, was to serve as a connection between the witchiness and the whimsy. So I have all these witchy ingredients in here, and they all have their little things that I wish upon my daughter and I want her to have, not just for Halloween, but for every day. But then the spell or the poem on the back kind of fills it with the intent to add the whimsy and the childlike fun that should be held on this holiday. If that makes sense. And then in my lovely witch's alphabet, I kind of got a little wonky there, but it spells out Halloween Fairy. And then I put one of my little Halloween bells, jack-o'-lantern bells, and tied it with black and white for God and Goddess, light and dark, openness and banishing, you know, just about balance. I like that idea. We've got the balance of the witchiness and then the fun of the secular holiday. So yes, unfortunately my iron steak did not get made tonight, but hopefully they will show up soon since I feel like I've appeased the good folk in their energies and demanding a craft. And I hope you enjoyed this kind of quick walkthrough. Again, I know it wasn't what I promised on Facebook, but hopefully you enjoyed it. I really enjoyed making this, and after the day I've had, I really needed this pick-me-up. So I do think the fact that my spikes went missing were perhaps a good thing and kind of meant to be. So on that note, I will leave you guys be. Have a wonderful night. Many blessings as always. Bye, guys.